Rolls on Citizens Bank Park when it's empty. It's just a completely different thing to look at.
Well,
when this place is jammed, I swear this ballpark, the actual physical structure has moved by fans. Like, it is shaken before. Because when there's a playoff game in that yard, there is nothing like it. Someone that knows a lot about that is Kyle Schwarber, who joins us now. Kyle Schwarber, good to see you, man. How are things?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. Looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. We're looking forward to why you're wearing this beautiful IU jacket right now. You're still connected to the university, which I appreciate. I'm still connected to mine as well. In case you don't know, Kyle Schwarber is teaming up with global health leader Abbott and the Big Ten Conference to tackle critical blood shortages across the country for the second season of the We Give Blood Drive initiative. When did you get started? Why did you get started with such a wonderful initiative like this, Kyle?
Yeah, I feel like, well, first off, I feel like it's pretty natural for me to wear, being an alumni at Indiana and also doing some work within the first responder community, and having Schwarber's Neighborhood Heroes, and with my mom being a nurse back home, and my dad was a police officer for many years, and dealing with now all the first responders in Philadelphia, the fire, EMT, just hearing their stories, and also knowing that blood is such a huge thing to save lives on a daily basis, and for there to be a shortage, we all need to kind of step up and do our part, and that the Big Ten's doing a blood drive, and we're kind of going against all the other schools within the Big Ten. You want to show your spirit, right? You want to show that you support, and you want to call on all your alumni to kind of go out there and do their part and give some blood. But also too, we're also calling on all the Big Ten to go out there and give blood, save a life. You never know what this is going to mean to someone. And there's a little bit of a competition going within it as well. There's going to be $1 million going to the winning school. So
wow,
we want to push I want to push Indiana across the finish line. I know Harold's got the Ducks. It's going to be a big week next week there with the Indiana and the Ducks. So we're going to be pushing the Hoosiers to win this one and win next week as well.
I see you taking the shot. No, hey, I tell you what, Kyle, when Oregon went to the Big Ten, I wasn't real thrilled because, I hated to see the Pac-12 break up. But what it did is expanded the Big Ten's footprint. And it goes now from the West Coast to the East Coast when you go all the way to Rutgers. And with that said, for a blood drive, we're covering the whole country now. And so it's so important. I remember this happening last year and getting a chance to follow this blood drive. So it's really cool they got somebody like you involved that has a big platform and using that opportunity with the platform. And I want to ask you that real quick. That's my question. Utilizing your platform, how important is that as you speak out to other players about the platform and using that?
Yeah, I think it's huge. We're only in this game for so long. And when I first came up and as a young guy in Chicago, we had Lester, we had Rizzo, we had Cole Hamels. We had so many great guys that were going out there and making a difference in their communities and having big, charitable events. It was just cool to see, and it was, to show up and be a part of those things and to realize that you're making a difference in someone's life. And it kind of, for me, it really hit me, and knew that I wanted to do something down the line. And we were able to start Schwarber's Neighborhood Heroes, and a lot of it was thanks to them and showing me kind of the way to do it. And I got a lot of great people around me that helped me with Schwarber's Neighborhood Heroes. But yeah, anytime that you're within your community, and I feel like too, it shows a different side. Everyone sees us as baseball players, but we're also humans as well. And it kind of just gives everyone a different look at us and sees who we are as people and what we really care about and how we want to make a difference within our communities and our country.
Kyle, a baseball question. You'll be watching the Dodgers-Reds game tonight. On who you might play Saturday?
Yeah, I watched it last night. It was a great game. It's two great opponents, right? Two completely different teams that do things, differently as well. So that's why I love postseason baseball. It was a good game last night. It could be a completely different story tonight, but there's no cheering, there's no rooting. It's just about sitting there and kind of watching. You take some mental notes, but just excited to watch great baseball around the league. I felt like yesterday was such a fun day. There was a lot of really good baseball games on, and see who's moving on and see if there's going to be a third game or not.
Go support the We Give Blood Drive. Kyle Schwarber doing great work on and off the field. We didn't get a chance to really talk about your incredible season. Congratulations on that, and keep it rolling in the postseason. Okay, Kyle, we appreciate your time.
Hey, thank you guys. You guys have a good one, all right?
All right, there you have him, Kyle Schwarber of the
Kyle, the Ducks
Philadelphia
have you on
Phillies.
the bye week.
Oh, there you go. Still talking college football
See you,
smack, these two. Dodger Stadium, Game 2 tonight at Chavez Ravine. Shohei already with 2 bombs, along with Teoscar Hernandez. The winner of this series, they get a date as Citizens Bank against Kyle and the Phillies. We're back with more National Pregame Show right after this.
We can hardly wait for a full day of elimination playoff baseball as we welcome you into baseball tonight. Alongside Jeff Passan, Xavier Scruggs, Hunter Pence, Kevin Connors, delighted to be with you from first pitch to final out today. Jeff, as we look back to yesterday, the tried and true adage in baseball is that pitching wins in the postseason. Wasn't just pitching yesterday, it was a specific kind of pitching.
It was starting pitching, it was left-handed starting pitching, and it was some of the best pitchers in the sport at their absolute apex. Started with Tarek Skubal yesterday, 7 2/3 innings, 14 strikeouts, a career high. Matthew Boyd with Chicago Cubs, very good. His bullpen backed him up nicely with 4 2/3 perfect innings, but he had 4 1/3. You've got Garrett Crochet in there as well, one of the best starts of his career. Max Fried with the New York Yankees, matching Crochet 0 for 0s, didn't get a chance to get one of those extra zeros, and finishing the night with Blake Snell with the Los Angeles Dodgers. What we just saw yesterday was a display of power, a display of finesse, a display of excellence in pitching that defines this postseason in its first day, guys.
I mean, one thing for sure is it's different being a hitter today versus back when I was playing. What we saw from Skubal, I think, in game 1, 100 miles an hour to end in the 7th inning, 101, I think, finished it. We saw the same thing from Crochet. Just as the Yankees lineup, they faced out basically close to 100-mile-an-hour lefties the entire game. It went from Crochet to Chapman. Just absolutely phenomenal stuff. Major League Baseball is so fun to watch, and with that display of left-handed pitching, it was what a night.
Crochet going into Yankee Stadium and dominating that Yankees lineup, to me, was the most impressive because it was his first playoff start. And to think about the nerves and the anxiety that comes with that, he put that all aside. And I thought Eduardo Perez did an amazing job on the broadcast last night, highlighting the curveball cutter usage, because typically in the past, the previous starts against the Yankees, he used that four-seam fastball and the sinker. He went more to the off-speed, more to the cutter. And to me, I thought that was the difference maker. The Yankees had no answer for him last night.
And that 7th inning where Boston strung a couple of runs together here that really sort of changed the tide in that game. Hunter, you won a pair of World Series. You know what it means to play winning baseball at this time of the year. Give us a couple of examples yesterday that may have been a little off the radar about winning plays.
Yeah, I mean, there was quite a few small ball really making a difference. And if you dive in, first and foremost, let's talk about the sacrifice bunt from McKinstry right here. You get first and third one out. The guy before you didn't get the job done. This is such a clutch play because not only do you move your runner from first base to second base, you get another guy in scoring position, but if you can get this bunt down, you bring the run home. And then you take a look right here. Nico Horner, one of the best at bats. Cutter on the outside corner, doesn't try to do too much. Situational hitting, drives the ball out there, and that is a massive run in this series where runs are so paramount. And then right here, you do your scouting report. You know the Judge's arm isn't as strong. This is 73 miles an hour from Judge. No way you go to second unless you know before the game that he doesn't have a strong arm, challenges them, and that 90 feet turned into the go-ahead run that changes the whole dynamics of that ball game.
I think we talk a lot about cliches, right? Putting pressure on the opposing defense. But I think we know that that's real. Once you see that in play during the postseason, it's something that a lot of teams sometimes don't know how to respond to, and it's the details of the game that you're talking about, to me, ultimately will make the difference.
Home runs win playoff games, but they don't have to be mutually exclusive with good fundamental play. You can be a team that lays down a bunt and be a team that hits the ball over the fence. And that's what we saw yesterday from the winning teams. They were able to do both of those things, and power is going to, at the end of the day, carry the day. But in series like this, sometimes you just need to scrap out a win, and that's what we saw.
And that is true. But then, X, there are times where on the big stage, it helps to have the greatest player on planet Earth.
Yeah, let's forget about all that small ball talk. Shohei Ohtani. Look, what I saw Shohei Ohtani do yesterday reminded us that this is not the playoffs for him. This is just a normal Tuesday night, just where he's doing what he typically does. And to me, it started with the first at-bat. He launched the ball at 117.7 off the bat. And then you go into later on in the game, he hit one even further than the first one at 450 feet. So I just continue to think about this platform for not only the Dodgers, but specifically for Shohei Ohtani in a time in which we might expect him to maybe take a step back at some point. He just continues to keep getting better as a player, and he loves this moment.
It's really interesting when you contrast what Shohei Ohtani's done in the postseason, what Aaron Judge has done in the postseason. They're both gods in the regular season. They're the two best players in the world, and frankly, I don't think it's particularly close. But Ohtani in the playoffs has been awesome. And it's been only a year and a game, but that year he's got a World Series ring, and that game he's got 2 big home runs.
And by the way, Teoscar Hernandez, a pair of home runs yesterday. It's playoff baseball, and he's hitting. The Dodgers are winning a 1-0 series lead. We take a look at StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. One of one, to say the least. First player in the StatCast era in the postseason with a 450-foot home run, with a 115-mile-per-hour exit velo in the same game. And Dave Roberts speaking post-game about his megastar.
He does. His focus gets more, keen, and the at-bat quality is better. And, that's the reason why he signed to be with this ball club, this organization, to play in games like this, to showcase his otherworldly talent. And, I expect really fun things this postseason out of Shohei.
If there's no Game 3, when do you expect Shohei to pitch?
You're getting ahead, Barry, but, it would be one of the first 2 games probably.
One of the first 2 games?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
I think Barry's asking the question that a lot of us have wanted to ask here. When do you unleash Ohtani, the pitcher, here in the postseason?
I mean, does it matter at this point? I'm serious. You got Yamamoto, you've got Ohtani, you've got Glasnow, you've got Emmett Sheehan. You've just got this quiver full of arrows that are at Dave Roberts' disposal. And so I think you unleash Shohei when Shohei says, okay, it's time. I'm ready. I feel good. And what the Dodgers have done so well is that they listen to Ohtani. And that's sort of part of the agreement. That's the compact that teams have with Ohtani. It was the same way with the Angels and the same way with the Dodgers now. If you have him, he tells you what he wants to do, and you say, okay, Chief, go out there and be the best player we've ever seen.
And I think it's been the best way to ultimately keep him healthy, right? I think that's the focus for Ohtani, especially earlier on in the season. It's like, hey, you control what you want to do. That way, when it's time for the postseason and we need you most in October, you're the best version of yourself. Go ahead and let him run now.
It's it's definitely hard to fathom, keep him healthy. This is last postseason, it didn't seem like he was healthy. He was playing through some stuff, but seeing 2 home runs in the first game, he's ready to pitch this postseason. And Ohtani is a history maker. He's doing things that have never been done. This is like the time where you burn it out. Like, you're here to win World Series as many as you can. Let him go, let him cook, as they say. And we're going to get to see Ohtani pitch, hit, and make history.
And they've been mindful about how much they've used him in starts. But having said that, he has not allowed a run in his last 3 starts.
And the Dodgers just coming off of hitting 5 home runs in the game yesterday. And so I worry a little bit about that for the Reds. And Abbott, a left-hander, the Dodgers not fared as well against left-handed pitchers, only I think a game over 500 this year against lefties. Surprised that Abbott, this series could end without him taking the mound. And I don't know for me whether I would have lined it up that way.
Yeah, the same thing for Lodolo, right? It's almost crazy to think that a couple of the guys that have been so dominant and guys that have been so impactful in this Reds rotation may not get an opportunity to pitch in this one. But look, the Dodgers lineup is we saw the length again yesterday. And it doesn't matter who they throw out there at this point. They're going to have to find a way to limit the damage of what the Dodgers can do. And it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon, especially with Shohei Ohtani leading the way. Teoscar going into playoff mode, Teoscar Hernandez, and the same thing for Tommy Edman. We saw him do this same thing last year, all of a sudden be the big Tommy Tanks home run hitter. So whoever it is, you better find a way to navigate that lineup because it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's and Kike Hernandez 2 hits, and we know how well he plays in October as well. And good news, though, Hunter Green did not throw up on the mound yesterday. I know we were sort of watching that particular prop bet, and he did not puke from anything I saw.
Don't
on the mound
we
yesterday.
were watching that. You were watching that.
I think we were all watching that one yesterday. So the Tigers and Guardians today, Casey Mize, Tanner Bybee.
Right, the final game of the day was over early. Reds, Dodgers, Hunter Green pitching in his hometown, family and friends in attendance. Shohei Ohtani came in at 101, left at 117. And just like that, it's 1-0 Los Angeles. Bottom of the third. Teoscar Hernandez, runners at second and third. So this guy's going to get hot now?
You knew this was coming.
Teoscar's going to get hot.
Tommy Edman went deep, too, by the way.
It's 4-0, just like that. And Hunter Green was not long for this game soon after. Next batter, Tommy Edman.
It's funny, he blew three heaters right by him, and he comes up and he hangs him a slider and he shoots it.
Dodgers go back-to-back. It's 5-0. Those 5 home runs by the Dodgers tie a franchise record for most homers in a postseason. Teo again.
Now he's just showing off. Kike had knocks.
Well, Kike always gets knocks.
It's like all is right in the world. They were bored by the regular season.
You're right,
say it every year.
Ohtani.
Oh, my.
What's crazy is the Dodgers won the World Series last year with a compromised Ohtani in the World Series without a starting rotation.
Compromised Freeman.
Compromised Freddie Freeman. And Ohtani goes deep again. That one went 454 feet. And that is more than enough run production for this guy, Blake Snell. He was excellent. 9 strikeouts, 2 runs over 7 innings.
Bored by the regular season, guys. I'll see you in October.
8th inning. Alex Vesia. It's 10-2. So Vesia allows a single, then he walks a batter, and then we bring in Edgardo Enriquez.
I thought with the bases loaded, I thought, wait a minute.
Yeah, he walks 2 and then gives up the single. It's 10-4. Then Jack Dreyer steps to face Ellie De La Cruz. That brings in another run. Dave Roberts has got to be like, what the heck is going on? But Dreyer is able to get Tyler Stevenson, and then Ke'Bryan Hayes pops up. Dodgers with some minimal damage, but they go on to take game 1, 10-5. Here's Dave Roberts after the win.
It was great. It was a very well executed game plan. Teo was big tonight. Obviously, Shohei had a huge night. Kike does what he does in October, and just across the board, we just took good at bats. And I still, I think Hunter is one of the really, really talented pitchers in the game, and for us to get to him like we did, pretty impressive.
It was a really hard pitch to hit, but I felt like I reacted pretty well, and I'm glad that I was able to score, help the team score early.
No, it felt good to go deep in the ball game. Just got to control that last inning. But outside of that, felt really in control, could read swings, and just kind of navigate through the lineup.
All right.
What do we want to talk about?
Should we start with Shohei? Because it was a game-tying home run in the second at-bat of the postseason a year ago, and now the first at-bat. He didn't make anybody wait.
Yeah, he hit 2 homers, and there's a chance he could start game 3 if this series goes.
I just don't want anyone to take it for granted. The greatness we're watching. We're watching the greatest baseball player that'll ever play.
Yep.
Right? That's what.
And people think that's some sort of hot take or outlandish. It's not. It's neither one of those.
The guy's going to pitch their. If Cincinnati was to win today, he's going to pitch their most important game of the season, and he's going to lead off, and he's got 55 home runs, and he continues to rewrite a storied franchise's record books year after year after year. And oh, by the way, Blake Snell said, postseason starting, I'm not going to let anyone get a hit anymore.
And he was interviewed after the game on MLB Network, and he said, I was laser focused on the Reds lineup. Of course they are. All starting pitchers are. But when you're great, and they have 4 aces on that team, it can be easy to just do what you do best. He said, I studied every single guy, all their nuance.
You're getting everybody's best. But the thing is with Blake Snell, when you watch him pitch throughout the year, you don't see Blake Snell give up 2 runs on 8 hits. He gives up no hits. Nobody hits him. If he's in the zone and establishes fastball command in the zone, he's able to get you kind of leaking on that breaking ball. He's nasty, and now you're going to deal with Yamamoto today. And then on the flip side, from an offensive perspective, Freddie threw out 2, Mookie threw out 2, but it's not just them. Teoscar Hernandez, who has been one of the more underappreciated hitters in the league for the last 3 to 5 years. He really has. He's a 30-homer guy. Consistently shows up in the postseason. Tommy Edman was nicked up the entire year. He shows up and goes deep. So, I mean, I am not surprised by this. I think, you don't let Cincinnati hang around today. And one thing that's interesting to me about Cincinnati, and keep it moving, is Littell getting the ball today. With your life on the line, he's getting the ball. And Abbott might not touch it.
Well, I mean, you got to figure it's all hands on deck, but they clearly have their work cut out for them because Yoshinobu Yamamoto is a real problem, as is that lineup.
And then they have 2 more aces just to start games 1 and 2 of the division series. They'll have Shohei and Tyler.